Shedeur, hey, he looks really good. It would be awesome to have him. He lied to me.
And he is exactly right. That's why it was really a mistake.
Man, listen, Shedeur we talked about it, Earl. He's talented. Like, he has all the talent and the ability you want. He has the leadership qualities you need.
That Shedeur Sanders, over the course of the next 10 months, will be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns.
He was not a Shedeur guy. However, because of where he is and the quarterbacks that he is competing with, they've got to start him at some point. Kenny Pickett is injured and not an NFL quarterback. There is a 0% chance that Kenny Pickett is the Browns' answer at quarterback. 0%. Joe Flacco is 40 years old. There is a 0% chance Joe Flacco is their long-term answer at quarterback. Dylan Gabriel, he's too small. There is a 0% chance Dylan Gabriel is the Browns' franchise quarterback 3 years from now. Shedeur, there is a 5% chance Shedeur is the Browns' franchise quarterback. 5%. When the other three guys are a combined 0% and you're going to be a terrible team, the moment the year has gotten away from you, you got to play Shedeur.
Bailey Zappi will be the backup quarterback on Sunday.
It's a great question. I wrote a whole column about this yesterday, and I made a very strong case that I think he should be. And I just wrote that because that's how I feel, and I have no idea if Kevin's going to do that. In fact, they might absolutely 100% make Shedeur Sanders the backup for this football game. But I don't think they should, for so many reasons that I outlined in this column. The first of which, and the most important reason I'm citing here, is the fact that Shedeur Sanders, I think, would be best served by heading into a football game with a game plan designed for his skill set. If he has to go in against the Pittsburgh Steelers, all they've practiced all week is a Dylan Gabriel scheme. He's more mobile. He's different. He's not as tough. There are just different traits these two guys have. You're not going to be calling, the RPOs and the bootlegs and the rollouts and the keepers and the design runs and different things that you will call for Dylan. Now, I'm making him sound like he's Lamar Jackson. He's not that, but he is definitely mobile enough, and that was his game in college, to zip around and make off-schedule plays at times and avoid sacks and do all those things. That is not Shedeur's game. They would have to devise a game plan that is going to maximize Shedeur's skill set. And one of his superpower, his number one superpower, is his elite accuracy. I see it even in the short amount of time that we are now allowed to watch practice. He is still showing off this uncanny elite accuracy. It's really something to behold. I see him do things that it's elite level accuracy is what I'm seeing out there. So he's got some amazing things that he can do as well. It's just not the Dylan things. And I think when he goes into a football game, he should have the supporting cast, the plays, and everything else designed to help him. So it's really not about him not being ready. It's about him not being game planned for this week. And why can Bailey do that, even though he's also a drop back passer? Because Bailey's been around for 4 years. He would more easily be able to adapt to some of the things that Dylan's doing. He would play faster. He can pivot. He can be thrown into a situation. He has been thrown into situations before. He's also started 9 games, won 4 of them, including one in Pittsburgh when he was with the New England Patriots. So
trying to rewrite that initial narrative that was out there that basically Shedeur is wasting everyone's time.
But I think, and Dion certainly thinks, that there is going to be a world in which Shedeur sets foot in a football game.
This wasn't Dion. It was clear that this was made from the Browns, and I do think that's what's interesting about this, is because I think any time the Browns leak any report about Shedeur, it ends up backfiring, even if it's a well-intentioned one like this, which is to tell Shedeur fans
we can only control what we can control, but yeah, I don't want to speak for anyone in particular, and
At that point, Gabriel was full.
Learned little details, definitely was ready for that, but all the details come down to it, and I think in any game you're going to want 4 to 5 plays back. Of course, the result will feel different, and maybe your 4 to 5 plays may feel different, but that's the game we live and play in. So got to be better in those 4 to 5 plays is what. It wasn't not on the same page. That's me on my end, trying to be smart in certain situations, and we get cloud and get want to make an answer there.
The
Cleveland Browns are standing at a crossroads. A season once filled with promise now feels like it's slipping away. Kevin Stefanski took the podium, his tone heavy, his words measured. He didn't dodge, he didn't deflect, he owned it. We have to be better. Offense, defense, special teams, coaches too. Those words hit different. This wasn't just another presser, it was a confession. The Browns are bleeding from within, and it shows. He's trying to convince the locker room that the fight isn't over, but deep down, you can feel it. Something's cracking beneath the surface.
Wasn't Dion. It was clear that this was made from the Browns, and I do think that's what's interesting about this is because I think any time the Browns leak any report about Shedeur, it ends up backfiring, even if it's a well-intentioned one like this, which is to tell Shedeur fans.
When Stefanski spoke about the next opponent, Miami, he wasn't just previewing a game, he was pleading for redemption. We have to find a way to win, he said, voice tightening. That's desperation talking. Look, I've been researching about the NFL for the last 7 to 8 years deeply, and what I think is this. When a coach starts preaching about finding a way, it's not strategy anymore. It's survival. The Browns know it. The fans know it. Every snap from here on out could define whether this team sinks or claws its way back into relevance. Stefanski was pressed about the offense, and his response said everything. Nothing's coming easy, he admitted. That's a coach cornered by his own playbook.
And trying to rewrite that initial narrative that was out there that basically Shedeur is wasting everyone's time.
But I think, and Dion certainly thinks, that there is going to be a world in which Shedeur sets foot in a football game.
When he doubled down saying, I'm going to keep calling plays, it wasn't confidence, it was defiance. The offense looks lost. The rhythm is gone. The creativity vanished. The Browns have talent, but they lack direction. This isn't about players anymore. It's about leadership. When your head coach sounds like he's defending himself instead of commanding the room, that's when a team starts slipping away. And then came the moment fans can't stop talking about. Quinchon Judkins. 12 touches. 12! Stefanski's explanation? We were down by 3 scores. That's not an answer. That's an excuse. A rookie running back begging.
We can only control what we can control, but yeah, I don't want to speak for anyone in particular, and
At that point, Gabriel was full
for touches, energy bottled up on the sideline, while the offense crumbles under pressure. This isn't about numbers, it's about tone-deaf decision-making. The Browns have explosive weapons, but they're using them like dull blades. If you love this kind of breakdown, raw truth, pure football emotion, take a second and subscribe to the channel. It helps more than you know. The injuries don't help either. Jack and Cam, both tackles, fighting through pain, their absence shredding the Browns' protection schemes. And Stefanski? He's left juggling uncertainty, day by day, snap by snap. Then came his take on Tyson Campbell. He battled. That's coach talk for it wasn't good enough. The truth is, this defense is exhausted from carrying the load. And now, the cracks are widening between offense and defense. When frustration spreads across the locker room, it's no longer just about X's and O's. It's about pride, trust, and identity. But the real firestorm came when someone mentioned Mike Tomlin. The Steelers coach had made waves, questioning the Browns' decision to trade Joe Flacco to a division rival, Cincinnati. Stefanski's response? Cold, tight. I don't have a comment on that. That silence said more than words ever could. The Browns gave away a veteran quarterback, and now he's in their backyard, potentially ready to torch them. That's a storyline the AFC North won't forget. Cleveland's leadership gambled, and the rest of the league is watching to see if that move comes back to haunt them. When Stefanski talked about penalties and execution, you could sense his frustration boiling beneath the surface. We have to clean up the avoidable mistakes. But those pre-snap penalties, misalignments, and broken routes, they're not just mechanical errors. They're psychological ones, a symptom of a team losing discipline. The goal line misfire where the ball bounced off Isaiah Bond's helmet, that's more than bad luck. It's chaos. And chaos in the NFL spreads fast. You can hear it in Stefanski's tone. He's fighting not just to fix the offense, but to hold the locker room together. Reporters pressed him about the passing game. Why so many throws early? Why abandon the run? Stefanski defended the plan, saying it was based on defensive looks. But here's the problem. Football isn't played on paper. It's played in emotion, momentum, and grit. And when the Browns went pass-heavy, they lost their balance. The offense looked panicked, the rhythm gone, the players frustrated. And while Stefanski talked about execution, you could feel the real issue: belief. Does this offense even believe in its play caller anymore? That's the question no one dared to ask, but everyone's thinking. The topic eventually shifted to leadership and locker room morale. Stefanski admitted defensive players like Myles are frustrated. And how could they not be? The defense fights, bleeds, and keeps them in games, while the offense keeps giving it away. Yet Stefanski tried to hold the line. Football is the greatest team game. It was a reminder, or maybe a warning, that division kills teams faster than defeat. And while his words were measured, his eyes told another story. The Browns' unity is slipping, one loss, one argument, one sideline glare at a time. By the end, Stefanski tried to end on a note of belief. I believe in the people we have, he said. I believe in the coaches, I believe in the players. But belief without results becomes noise. The Browns' season hangs in the balance, their identity in question. And as they march toward Miami, it's not just a game, it's a reckoning. The pressure is boiling, the noise is deafening, and one more loss could set off an explosion inside Berea. If you're ready for every twist, every crack, and every truth about the Browns, stay tuned. The story's only getting started.